Again, today is our persona talk. It's rather important to sort of know who your audience will be. And, you would think about it that, I always get these students and people that I talk to when I talk about personas, oh, my product's for everybody. Really? Is it for everybody? And so on. And, even when I look at, my famous website here, I know through stats, Google Analytics stats, who goes to the web, because Google is going to tell you that, right? Who gives you information? They tell you, who they are, what their ages are, where they're located, so on and so on. And so Google Analytics can give you that information, and you can design appropriately. Before we started advertising, it was 80% male, 20% female. The average age was 25 to, it used to be a little older back in the previous, years ago. It would be, 35 to 45-year-old white males, whatever, something like that. Now the generation is a little younger now. So I can tell by Google stats that the generation is a little younger now, maybe because of the type of stores we're in now compared to stores that we were in before. We weren't in Walmart before, now we're in Walmart. We weren't in certain stores, and so that might change the way the audience is as well. But in addition, once we started advertising, the Google Analytics started changing, and it says now it's 40% female, 60% male, and the younger audience, 25 to whatever. And that's being skewed from the advertising, because the advertising is just randomly throwing ads up on, not really randomly, but it is throwing ads up on Google or on YouTube or on something, and people are just clicking the ad, randomly. And so that's kind of a skewed audience. But still, my whole point is that if you have a product that's already existing, there should be a way to find information about who is using it and why they're using it. That would make probably the beginning of your persona.
How can we get the information about that?
Google Analytics.
Search.
The Google Analytics is a service offered by Google that allows you to see the stats. I can't log in here because it will then recognize, my company will recognize it. No, they'll say, why did you log in? If I bring my laptop, I'll be glad to show you the Google Analytics if you want, because that already has been logged in. And so, I don't know. We'll see. So think about it. There's a way to get data, is what I'm trying to say. That's a great way to start your persona, is what I'm trying to say. It's a great way to start your persona. Find out who has been there and why they're doing there. If you don't have that, you can go on assumptions or competitors, right? Remember we talked about a little bit last week about competitive analysis. You can go and see, maybe who are the users of a competing product. So let's read what a persona is. Of course, persona comes from Greek theater kind of thing, right? Remember the Greeks would always put a mask over or something like that when they were up in their theater. They were always doing the term persona, kind of comes from that. A persona in user-centered design and marketing is a fictional character created to represent a user's type that might use a site, brand, or product in a similar way. Again, you should include how they might use the product. Okay, in this case, you can have user walkthrough, or what am I trying to say? User where you describe how the user would use the product, right? Wherever they would go. Oh, they would search on Google. Our website comes up. They click on, what did they search? You can even write that down, right? Hey, they searched on, buying something, whatever. Buy a bike. Boom, they click on the My Bike site. They enter the site, and then they click on here, and you can describe that. And this is how I'm hoping it will happen, right? Marketers may use personas together with marketing segmentation, where the qualitative personas are constructed to be representative of a specific segment. That's what I was saying. It could be very narrow. Seniors, like I said, or kids, or middle-aged people that like to ride bikes in parks. I'm serious. That's sort of how narrow you can come down to that, because those are the type of people you're going to be marketing towards. Those are the type of people you're going to advertise for. In fact, when you advertise on Google, you can advertise to a specific. You can tell Google, we want our ads to show up in this certain situation, and they will. You can pay for that. In fact, when you advertise on Google, you can go all the way down to the zip code. I can tell Google what zip code I want my ads to show up in. Very, very, very. The term persona is used widely in online and technology applications as well as advertising, where the other terms such as pen portraits may also be used. I don't know what that means, but personas are useful in considering the goals, desires, and limitations of brand buyers and users in order to help to guide decisions about services, products, interaction space, such as features, interactions, and visual designs of websites. Personas may also be used as part of a user-centered design process for designing software and other considerations and part of interaction design, having been used in industrial design and more recently for online marketing purposes. A user persona is a representation of the goals and behavior of the hypothesis group of users. In most cases, personas are synthesized from data collected from interviews with users. They are captured in 1-2 page descriptions that include behavior patterns, goals, skills, attitudes, and the environment, with a few fictional personal details to make the persona a realistic character. Personas are also widely used in sales, advertising, marketing, design systems. Personas provide common behavior, outlooks, and potential objections of people inherent to a given persona. Woof, so that's a lot, but you get the idea. It's a way that we can come up with who is the person who will be interacting with this and how they'll be using it. You can come up with fictitious, jobs that they might have, fictitious family members they might have, or so on. And if you look at some of my examples from previous classes, there's some good and not so good personas. So I'll give you a sort of a chart that you can use. Hey, you should include this, this, and this. It's coming. But in general, it's a great way for you to think about who's using your product. In my mind, I think it really comes down to remember our color that we had before too, right? But I designed something that's gray and black, maybe for children. Right? Remember our color chart? Right? So, knowing who your audience is may help you affect how your colors are, how your layout may be. Seniors, I'll link up the senior reading. I thought I had done that, but I was a little bit, lost. I was watching too much Raiders, and I didn't see the Raiders over the weekend. But there is great reading I have about designing for seniors and how people read online and how seniors, it's a great, big, large segment. And they're the ones who have extra money. It might be a little bit cheap with their money, but think about it. Baby boomers, they're retired, they have a little bit of extra money. I am marketing to them. Maybe pharmaceutical things, right? I'm sick of drug commercials on TV. But still, that's how narrow you can go down. As far as a persona, I don't know. We don't have to read everything, but you can read through all these. Talk about benefits. Oh, the other thing they talked about here was interviewing people. Great way to figure out who this is interviewing people. Find the audience. Do you think this is appropriate? Maybe you're designing for seniors and you say, hey, maybe you go talk to a senior. Hey. Go talk to a senior. Maybe for kids, go talk to kids. Middle-aged people that like to look at food on their products. Maybe you go ask them, what do I look like in my product food? Why would I do this? Okay, so think about that, interviewing people. is a great way to start a persona. And they talk about the great benefits, data collection, scientific research, and so on. Here, let's watch a video.
With Wix, you can create a professional website that looks stunning. Just go to Wix.com. The best part is you can update.
Hi, I'm Greg Bernstein, and today I'll be talking to you about personas and how to create them. A persona is a representation of a type of customer. Personas answer the question, who are we designing for? And they help to align strategy and goals to specific user groups. So how do you conduct a persona analysis? You can begin by compiling everything you know about your customers and grouping your findings in a spreadsheet. You can use headings relevant to your areas of study, such as industry, device, time, and goals. Or you can create affinity diagrams by organizing your findings on post-it notes. You might start to see patterns, the industries in which customers work, and what devices they use, at what time of day, and where. From here, you can form questions about your customers and work out what they have in common and how they differ. Then, find the people who form these clusters, either in your existing customer database or by recruiting them, and then talk to them. It's a win-win. You get to learn from customers, and they get access to the folks who create the software they rely on. Visiting the customer is ideal, but if you can't visit in person, a video chat is your next best option. A persona has a personality. The more you observe and capture during these interviews, the more realistic that personality will be. You can then tag and analyze your findings. Return to your spreadsheet or affinity diagram and add more data points. Office environment, software in use, collaboration habits, and so on. Look for the predominant clusters and shared attributes. You might find the two of your personas share many characteristics. You can combine these personas. Or, if there is enough distinction to warrant it, divide the persona into two. Creating personas is an iterative process. What seems right at first glance may not hold up to close scrutiny. Now it's time to come up with names and representations for these personas. The representation might be a photo, an illustration, or an icon. The important part is that these personas be distinct and memorable. You want your colleagues, at the mention of the Alice persona, to picture Alice and recall what she represents. Once you've created your personas, you can use them to design for customers with accuracy and confidence. For example, we can say, this is a feature that Alice would use, but one that Jim might not discover in his typical use of our app. Finally, share your personas with as many colleagues as possible. Create posters of your personas and hang them throughout your office. Your goal is to create a shared understanding of just who you work for and how everyone can better serve them. Personas can give you real insights into your customers, which will result in you designing a much better product or service. Just remember that personas change over time. Create them, learn from them, share them, and then don't forget to revisit them and begin the process anew.
Wow. Okay, so again, same thing I was kind of talking about. I think one of the things that I did get away from the video, though, of course, is, keeping those personas and sharing them with others, so people that you're designing with, you can talk about it. That's why I want you to make a persona for your proposal. So I usually want you to do at least 3. And so I want you to have at least 3 personas in your final proposal. You don't have to have it for Thursday for Gene presentation. Okay, only the things we talked about last week. Whether you're supposed to, we'll get to that. I'll make sure you include what I want you to show. But let's finish with our persona talk, and then I'll get to what we should do for next. Here, this link right here has a good way of organizing your personas. So right here, this one right here has a good way of organizing. Again, they talk about what is a persona. We've kind of been talking about that for the past 20 minutes now. It's a specific person, but it's not a real individual. Rather, it's a synthesized from observation of many people. Each persona represents a significant portion of people in the real world and enables the designer to focus on manageable and memorable cast of characters. Instead of focusing on thousands of individual personas, add designers to create different designs for different kinds of people and to design for a specific somebody rather than a generic everybody. And, I always get, oh, this website's for everybody. Like, is it really for everybody? Is it for, the 80-year-old grandma? Or is it for the 10-year-old, kid? Is it really for everybody? Probably not. Here's an example of one. Includes kind of a description of who it is and what they do, right? Maybe their job, where they work, how long they've been married maybe, or something like that, things that they like to do, and goals. Okay, so this is just one example here. Tom has 8 years of experience in lube shop operations. He is married with 2 young kids, and his wife jokes that the last time his hands were completely free of grease was on their honeymoon 5 years ago. Whoosh. Glad I don't work in a car shop. At the shop he manages, Tom constantly puts out little fires. He works on the floor most of the day, trying to be everywhere at the same time, although he prefers to act as greeter and cashier. Most shop trends get measured on a monthly basis since Tom has to meet sales targets defined by the owner, Eddie, in order to get his manager's bonus. On a daily basis, Tom frequently monitors car counts, ticket average, and employees' productivity. Sometimes his team needs a kick in the pants, but he tries to lead by example. Tom's goals: keep the cars coming, reduce labor percentage, exceed last year. So again, this is kind of a manager kind of goal. But again, you can see it has goals and who they are and what they're trying to accomplish. What does a persona look like? So, and this is another way, and I don't have a clear cut, must do it this way, like I always do. I leave it kind of open to you. You find what you think is appropriate for your content. This one's a little bit different. It has, computer skills. It lists computer type, job, background, computer needs, I believe that is, key goals. Hold on, let's zoom in. It's hard for me to see. Oops. I guess it's not very clear. Talks a little bit about who he works for, his background, novice. Okay, so that's another way. Where does the concept of persona come from? Again, I think I already gave you Alan Cooper in the early 80s in a way to emphasize with the internalize the mindset of people who will eventually use the software he was designing. So again, it comes back to, do you remember the book I had? Where is that wonderful book? I don't know if I still have that one. The one from Sun Microsystems. They had persona information in there a little bit. That was pretty good. Don't remember. Oh, the UX design book over here has a whole chapter on personas. So here we can pass it around and you can look at it. Somewhere in there. How do personas fit in the design process? Since its humble origin, Alan Cooper's design methodology has evolved into a subset of user-centered design, which has branded goal-directed design. Goal-directed design combines new and old methodologies from ethnographic market research and strategic planning, among other fields, in a way to simultaneously address business needs, technology requirement and limitations, and user goals. So here's some things you can add to your persona. Goal-directed design that supports personas. What is the objective? What would the user get out of this? What is their goal? This is an objective that the persona wants to needs fulfill by using the software. The software will aid in the persona to accomplish their end goals and aim to accomplish their task via certain features, right? Am I buying something? Am I learning something? I think that would be, especially if it's a service or something like that, right? Maybe you're giving an informational site. That could be the goal. Hey, they learned this and they did that. They called the number. They bought the product. There should be an end goal. They learned something, something like that. And then a scenario, this is a narrative that describes how a persona would interact with your software. So the scenario is that, just like I said before, and in fact, I'd like to start the scenario of how they found it, too. Maybe they clicked a QR code. Maybe they typed in the web address. Maybe they started on Google, and they searched for a certain word, right? You could start your scenario like that, and how they found your product, I think, is important. I find that, especially for marketing, right? Because I'm constantly looking on, how do people find Stud Finder online, right? How do people find, that product or water detector? And I'm constantly on Google searching these words and looking at who's there and what videos are people watching and so on. What are they typing into Google to find that information? Google will type it. That's where the Google Analytics comes from. I also get analytics from YouTube. I know how long somebody watches a video, what words they typed into YouTube to find that video. I know that. And then Google, again, gives you personal data. In fact, Google has categories that they put you in. Are you a wellness, fitness type of person? Are you a computer type of person? Educational type of person? Google already has that. They already put you in that. You might not think about it, but they do. They already put you in that categories of people. And they have that information. Facebook does the same thing. Maybe a little easier. Anybody watch the Facebook special last night? Part 2 is tonight. If you haven't watched the first part, you might want to watch that and part 2. Really, 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 really super interesting. Super interesting. So if you haven't, here, maybe watch part 2, I guess. It was on PBS last night. Where is it? Where was it? On Antiques Roadshow. What was it? What am I trying to say? Where's the search? What are we doing? Facebook. I don't want Facebook. Where's the searching? Why is there a search box here? Don't think. Can't you search on their box? Oh, here. They give me a stupid search box there. How about that for? Where's the Facebook special? Oh, it was so good. I don't know where it went, but there was a special on Facebook last night. It was quite interesting. It was on their TV. Maybe am I searching here? Whatever, let's move on. I don't know. It's here, we just go to Google. Do I really have to go to Google? This one, it's called Inside Facebook's Early Days. And it kind of talks a lot about, and it kind of goes with our persona talk. It goes with our persona talk. They had an idea of how their user was, and they made decisions upon that, and a lot of what they came up with was wrong, right? They thought they were designing this Facebook for a certain type of person, and that person's going to use their product in a certain way. But, as they went along, they found out that people were not the same box that they thought they were in, right? And so they designed a fake, and they kept evolving and changing Facebook, They talk about the like button when they brought the like button out. And the like button was probably the greatest thing they ever made, because then it knew, and they could make relationships. Every time you like something, hey, that's a data point. Boom, you like that. Boom, you like that. Boom, you like that. Then they started taking that information and using it to advertise, right, and do things and send you information. But my whole point as far as persona-wise, they had a certain idea of who they thought would be using this product, and they found out that the people used it in a different way, maybe, than what they originally thought. And then, of course, they talk a lot about their computer algorithm and how the algorithm is really making the decisions. There's no people back there. The computer's making decisions on what you see on Facebook, by which you hit like, who your friends are, and so on. You've all watched the, hope you've watched the one of, what was his name? I'll have to find that video. The guy from Maine, he talks about how, it was an old video, but it's still relevant today, about how the algorithms are the ones who are making all the decisions, and there's no people behind it. And if these computers are making the decisions, is that, what is the world going to be, right? The computer's making all the decisions for you, not making any decisions. But if you get time, watch this. The first episode was last night. Second, there's like 2-part series. 2-part. You could probably find it online. You could probably watch it on their website. I found it quite fascinating. I learned a lot. Okay, let's continue. So here's the types of things that I would include in my persona. First part of my persona should include the story of who the person is. What is the main character? What is their attitude, motives, and goals? The second part could be a scenario where you tell the user how the user would use the site, maybe, again, how they would find it. Then a third part can be a goal. Once they did find your information and click through in the scenario, what did they get out of it? Those are the 3 main kind of goals of a persona, right? And it's not necessarily, you don't have to write about design in there. You're not writing about design. I wouldn't, in my persona, it doesn't say, even though I'm saying, hey, they're a senior, they're there, I wouldn't write in my persona, well, this makes me think that I need to make my text a little larger. It's not a design, you don't include design things in the persona. It's just, again, who the user is, why they're using it. But you don't give conclusions in there. You don't add a conclusion of why. You wouldn't change your design. You change your design in the writing or maybe in something else, but you don't put it in their persona. Here's some steps you can use. Interview, again, people, find patterns, create archetypal models of those groups based on the patterns found, drawing from the understanding of users, the model understanding, create user-centered design. Share these models with the other team members and stakeholders. And then they talk about how the persona will be used. Build empathy. When a designer creates a persona, they are crafting the lens through which they will see the world. With those glasses on, it's possible to gain a perspective similar to the users from the vantage point. Develop focus. Personas help us to define who the software is being created, and so on. We've already talked about that. Communication, informed, concise. More often than not, designers work on multidisciplinary teams with people of vast different experiences and knowledge. And establish a medium for sharing knowledge. Again, in the last video we watched, they talked about making a poster and sharing that poster with the rest of the people who are in the project, right? That's what they're talking about there. Well, you can share online. Nowadays, we share lots of things online. Personas can be measure effectiveness. Of course, personas are effective. Let's see. Do we really need a persona? Yes. How about that? Conclusion. And then so on. This didn't have us all. I had a link that actually had a whole bunch of different personas in it. I don't know why. Maybe it's in part 2 here. Hold on, let me see what part 2 is. Maybe this is it. Where they had, some nice samples of how identify the user, decide what to ask. This guy's videotaping my user here. This one is kind of a mind map a little bit, persona mind map. Look at that. analyze data, and of course coming up with here's an example of a pretty detailed one. It looks like this looks like it's for Dolby.com, right? Dolby is the one who music, right? Sound. I guess, do they sell what? Speakers? Or not really sell speakers. Do they sell a product? I guess Dolby is the music behind the product, right? The technology behind the product. So, again, this one's quite interesting. It shows it in kind of a flow format. We already saw this one from before. Fred Fish, corporate chef. Shouldn't you include a picture? Yes, don't do a celebrity though. Okay, no celebrities. I used to make this. I used to teach at Menlo College up in Atherton there. I had the students make personas for their proposal. They all made personas too. They're business students. They didn't make a proposal for business kind of stuff, and they had to include. And often I would get people putting, celebrities. I'm like, no celebrities. No Brad Pitt. No, Katy Perry. I don't even know who half of those people are that they include in there because I'm old. Give me somebody from the 80s or 70s, and I'll know who they are. Okay, so I'll try and find some more info about that. I don't know. We can look at, there's some good examples of personas from my previous. Didn't I have examples from previous students? Where did I include those? I'm going to give you examples from other students. Where did I put those? Didn't I show you last class? Shit. We were looking at samples. Now I don't even know where I put them. Oh, whatever. They'll be over here somewhere. No. Anybody know where I put those? Oh, remember the Wikipedia one? Didn't we look at this one already? Didn't we look at this one last class? So yeah, again, I would like you to have an overview for Gene. Right? You should have an overview for Gene. Here, let's just go through. I listed some stuff on the website, didn't I? Let's go over that real quick first. So you should have sample images, right? Did you all take screen grabs of your stuff? And include your mind map too, right? Okay. You should have a competitive analysis where if you've taken screen grabs, you should talk about what is working and maybe what is not working in a competitive analysis, right? You should include your overview. And then, just like we did last class, you should have a list of questions that you would ask, right? That's what we talked about last class. So here, let's look at previous students. If I can find it. So again, we had the Wikipedia one that we looked at last class. Can I just open this in a new window? No. So again, I thought this one was again, they had an overview. In the overview, they included screen grabs of the current site. They had a problem statement. They had a proposed solution. Here's the research questions. A competitive analysis. Here's her persona. It's kind of weak. It's just a kind of a one statement. Well, the reason why I said it's weak, it's not really detailed enough, I would say. I would like to see a little bit more. I know they're a student from Irvine, California, majoring biology. Every month he has to write reports. Well, it does talk a little bit about what they're doing. I would like to probably have seen a little bit more about how they would use the new product and what the design of the new would enable this user to benefit, right? I think that, what this persona is great. It does say, a little bit about the person, but it doesn't really say the benefit of the new kind of design. Maybe where is the pain point? Maybe I think we talked a little bit about pain points last class where people get frustrated, right? So, maybe a goal that they would get out of this. Maybe a goal. So that was that persona. No, it's kind of weak, that one. Let's see if there's a better one here. I don't know. Doesn't seem to have. We've had some really good personas in the past. Yeah, I don't know. Where's my and did she have personas in this one? I didn't even have any information. It just has a picture of people. I wouldn't consider that a proposal. I'll have to look for some. But you get the idea, right? I'll have to find some. I have some good samples somewhere. I just don't know where they're at right now. But I will find some good examples and I will post them for you, as well as the senior reading. I will find that a little bit later today and post that for you. Okay, let's talk about making a presentation. So I asked you to gather data and write an overview and so on for Thursday. And in that proposal and writing, I would like you to include as much information as you can to describe a project to somebody who doesn't understand anything about, hasn't met you before or anything. I think one of the problems you run into is that when you write things and you make a presentation, you're going on assumptions that you already know because, hey, I know the product, I know what I'm trying to make, right? Where in this case, you need to think that the person has no clue on what you're talking about, right? They have no clue. So the easiest way to make a presentation to somebody is to give them, probably the information that is clear and concise and so on. So do I use, and I guess my whole point here is, do I use Word? Do I use PowerPoint? Do I use InDesign? What would I make a presentation in? And what format would I present it in? Of course, most people use PDF. One of the advantages of making something in PDF is the fonts that you choose and colors and things like that will stay. Where if you try and give somebody a Word document, they have to have kind of Word. They can open up, but the fonts will be different and so on. So whenever you do a presentation, PDF is good, even better than I think PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a very useful tool. So probably the best way that I would go about again, is you got Word. Let's just talk about the advantages of Word. The advantages of Word is that they're easy to use, right? And so you can start off with a title page, you know. Maybe it's a website on making jelly. Put the author in there, and as well as maybe namesakes. Again, if I was going to use that, I would do the same thing. Maybe center my text, make it bold, add some space. Maybe use a specific font. What's a jelly font? Give me a jelly font. Is there a jelly font? There we go. Don't use too many jelly fonts. I try to use things that are very readable. Nice cover like that. So again, you know, you can go and, you know, design something quite nice like that. Try and keep it simple. If I was going to start maybe putting each one of your sections on its own page. In addition, if you're using Word and you want to put something on every page and do page numbering, you use header and footer. Header would be anything that you want on every page at the top of each page. Footer would be everything you want on the bottom of each page. A great way to is put numbers on each page so that people know if you have a printout and your people are following along, you would say, oh, let's refer to page 3. Let's refer to page 4, right? To do the page numbering inside of Word is underneath Insert. You have header and footer here, but I tend not to use necessarily header and footer right there. I like to use the page numbering right there. In the page numbering, if you click on that, you'll notice it says page number. If I click on page number, it's going to ask me, where do you want it? Bottom of page or top of page? Where do you want your number? It doesn't matter. It's up to you, your design. I would probably put it in this case at the bottom. Where do you want? Right or left? I tend to like it on the right side is fine. You can go to format. You can say start at what page you want. Do you want hyphenation in between? So on. And you can include chapter numbers. I don't have no chapters there. And you can say start at page 2 if you don't want it on your home page, right? On your kind of cover page where you have a nice kind of describing your project. You might not want to have a number on that first page, right? So if you do that and you hit OK, you'll notice at the bottom of the page, it'll be a page number 1 down there. If you want to put some information on that, you can actually double click on there and you can add some information. You can put your name down there. Maybe put copyright information. What is the copyright key on the keyboard? 0169. 0169. Nope. You got to do it all at one time. 0169? No, what is it? Isn't it? Oh, Alt. Sorry, you got to hold down the Alt key. Alt 0169. No, that's not it. How do somebody give me the copyright symbol? I know it's 0169. I just don't know which one. Or maybe Command 0169? No, that's not it. Or is it Command G or Option G? There, Option G. There you go. Option G. And then put your name in there. And then, of course, always include the date or at least the year in your copyright information. So again, in my presentation, I might have page number at the bottom, copyright information. If I'm using Word, I tend to use not footer, but page number. It's under header and footer. Great way of putting some information on there. Fabulous way. And what was the copyright key? Option G. I think, Jennifer, you taught me that one, right? Somebody taught me that one. I remembered it eventually. So when you're done with the header and footer, you close it right here. See it right here? Boom. Closes it. So there we go. Now, what you want to do is if you're doing a presentation, I tend to put everything on its own page to make a blank page inside of Word. Under Insert, Page right there, blank page. That way it automatically jumps to the second page. Then I might go and give it an overview. overview. I usually hit return so that it makes a paragraph break. I can then type in my overview. Typing in my overview. Typing in my overview. Typing in my overview. Typing in my overview. Maybe 2-paragraph overview. Who knows? Okay, I might bold my text here. Maybe I use my my cool jelly thing and make it big. There we go. That looks nice. You want to include images into your presentation? You can insert images. Simple way to put images inside of Word is to select the area where you want it, where I put my cursor at the beginning of that. Then I can drag an image. Let me go and find an image. Let me go and find an image. Where am I at? Google. I'm already at Google. Why don't I just have a real Google search? Can I just have a real Google search? I don't like this Google with their things. And what am I doing? Jelly? What am I doing? Jelly what? Jellyfish? Or am I doing jelly donuts? Or no, jelly. Oh, what am I doing? Making jelly, right? Making jelly. Making jelly. There we go. Jelly jam. Look at this. Whoosh. Google and their questions. Gotta love it. You should learn how to make this. Make this. And make this. Let's go to images. There we go. And maybe we like Jello shots. So I want to include this in my thing. I can right click and say copy image. Right? Stealing. You probably know how to steal images already. We talked about that. And then I can go and paste it in there. And there is my Jello. You can change the size of images inside of Word if you would like. You want to do a word wrap. If you have an image that's selected, you can right click on it and go to where it says wrap text, and you can say square, and it puts the text next to it. Doesn't that look a little bit better? Right? And so on. Then you can write your text, and it can wrap around your image. Right? Again, if I was going to make another thing, let's say it's my competitive analysis or some kind of other thing that I'm making, again, under insert, you could say page, use blank page. Blank page makes a new page. And this could be questions. And then, of course, you can highlight the, hit return first, so you get your paragraph break. The reason why I hit return is so that the formatting of the text doesn't continue. So I've already hit return. I can go under home. What was I using? Some crazy jelly font, some crazy jelly size, something like that, wasn't I? Okay. And then, of course, use bullets. You can use numbering or bullets here, numbering. Why make jelly? Who? How? Who eats jelly? I need jelly. I don't know. But again, bullets right here. Bullets. Great way to organize your information into a list of questions. I might include, more information there, but you get the idea. Bullets. Oops. When you're all done, you can make hyperlinks too. The other advantage of making a presentation inside of Word or other ones is you can make hyperlinks. Visit, like the competitor site, visit competitors, whatever. Visit another site. It's fine. The advantage of using Word or pretty much any program, you can highlight some text. We can go there. We can go into making jelly. Here's a great website for making jelly. Highlight there. Go back to Word. Insert. And then there should be hyperlink in there somewhere. Link. See right here, link. and you can go to link right there, and you can put in your text and hit OK. And so you can have hyperlinks in your presentation. Very useful, great to send people, especially when you're presenting maybe. Here, this is this. Showing the competitor in your presentation. Might be a good way. And so on. All these things are kind of the same inside of PowerPoint. I don't need to show you PowerPoint, do I? It's all the same. PowerPoint. Saving it as a PDF. How do I save as a PDF? I go into File, Save As. First, I'm going to save it as a Word document so that you want to make changes. You need to make changes to your Word document, and you only make the PDF at the end. Okay? To make a PDF, they do have an Acrobat button there. This is an add-on, though. Not all Microsoft Word has this Acrobat. This Acrobat only shows up if you have Distiller installed. Distiller is the kind of the program that is used to make a PDF. That doesn't mean you can't make a PDF if you don't have Distiller installed. It just means that whoever put this Word on here had Acrobat kind of relating to each other. So you have this Acrobat button up there. But in my other classroom, I teach in Che, which is over there in the business area or wherever it's in the professional studies they call it now. Over there I teach Word in that room, and they don't have this Acrobat button. It's not there because they didn't associate it with it. But that doesn't mean we can't make a PDF. You can go under File, either Save As, and change to Acrobat. Right here, PDF I meant, right there. Or if you're still having problems, the easiest way to make another PDF is under Print. And inside Print, there's a PDF option usually here at the bottom as well. See it right here? So those are kind of 3 ways to make a PDF. And save PDF right there. You give it a name. You can make it so that the people have to have a password to open it up, right? So you can make it secure, right? They have to have a password to open up the document. Maybe you're sending this over the internet and it's very confidential information and you don't want your competitors to see it. You can do that as well. So you made a PDF. It's beautiful, wonderful, looks great. How do I present a PDF? Well, probably the best thing is not to double click on the PDF itself. The problem with double clicking on the PDF, especially in Mac, is they have what? They have the preview software that's usually associated with, which is not the true Adobe Acrobat program, right? If I click on this twice, it's going to open up in preview, right? Preview. What is the downfall of preview? Well, it doesn't have all the options that you can inside of Acrobat. So what I would do is if I made a PDF and I was presenting to somebody, I would right click, go to open with, and say Adobe Acrobat right there. In Acrobat, you have other options. What are some of the options? Well, you can bring up the sidebar, which is the where is it? You can hide that sidebar. Tools, where's show hide, navigational panel. Oh, where's the sidebar? Content. This one over. No. Usually you can have it. Oh, here it is. You got pages, so you can quickly jump to a page. Right? Quickly jump to a page. Usually this you can hide this over here. I don't know why it's doing that. If you present in full screen by going under View, Full Screen Mode. Hides all the other crap, and use your arrow keys on the keyboard to go from page to page, 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 arrow keys on the keyboard. Whenever you're done or you want to stop anything from happening in PowerPoint or anything like that, or in this, you always hit this escape key on the keyboard and it'll go back to normal. Escape goes back to normal. So please try and have something ready on Thursday to present to Jean. Make it in a PDF format. Try and organize your content as best you can. Add some colors. You know, Jean's a design teacher. You know, she likes to see design. You know, so I don't know. That was just Word I showed you. How else can you do it? If you've never used InDesign, you might want to consider InDesign. I know InDesign is not easy for you to learn at first, but hey, the only way to learn it is to try it. Do we have InDesign here somewhere, don't we? There it is, InDesign. What is the advantages of InDesign? I just did that. You can make templates or a master. You can make a master inside of Word as well, or what they call a template. But here in InDesign, you can make what we call a master, and that's basically a page that has all your designs on it with your page numbering and everything. And then every time you make a new page, it takes all the design style that you put in it. Maybe you have your logo and stuff like that. So if I am using InDesign to make a presentation, let me get my let me steal. We'll go to the Noun project and steal some icons. And what are we doing? Jelly. I like the idea of jelly. For some reason, I feel jelly oriented today. So what are we doing? Jelly, 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 jelly. This one's kind of cool. So let's steal that one. There you go. So I stole that one. So in this case, in InDesign, I would make a new project. What do I want? A document, book, or library? Most likely I would do the document. That's like a normal document, just like you make a document in Microsoft Word. Once you make a document, it's asking you what size you want. This is a typical size. They're using picas for measurement. Pica is kind of a different type of measurement. You might say inches if you're used to using inches, or points, or even pixels if you would want. I would probably use inches because I'm using 8.5 by 11 for right now. And I would hit create. Just like in PowerPoint, this is, I would say InDesign is a little bit more, for me, a little bit more like PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, I do the same thing where I make a master. And that master is kind of the design of the page. And in PowerPoint, I would do the same thing. I would make a master slide. So if you want to, here, I'll show you PowerPoint at the same time I'm doing InDesign. So we can do that as well. I got a little time here, don't I? Yes, let's see here. PowerPoint. So in PowerPoint, I would do the same thing. Again, there is a thing called master. If I can find it, where's my master? It's under why? Oh, here we go. Where am I at? Insert. No, where's my master? Master. Slideshow. Where's master? Master. There it is. Under view. Sorry, it took me a while. So under view, you have what's called slide master. That again is your design of your graphic. So if I click on slide master, this is master. Always click on the top one. This is the main master. I don't know why it always starts here, but I would go up here to the top one right here. And so this is everything. You can give yourself a background color if you want, background style if you want. And whoosh, look at that. Oh, I don't know about that. You can make your own background if you want. I'm going to make a gradient. There we go. Let's make a nice gradient. Oh, look at that, beautiful. That's no good. There we go. Whatever, you get the idea. So you can then go and tell what font you want on your master. Go under home. You can change the font if you would like. What were we doing? We were doing something crazy. There we go. Something like that. And then so on. So, oh, and then you can bring your logo in. So let's just say you want your logo in there. Where's my logo? Insert art, picture from file. I put it on the desktop. My Jello shot. Here it is. There's my Jello shot. Then again, you have page numbering down at the bottom with the footer. You can put your name down there. You can put your page number down there. You can put your copyright information and so on. So once you make a master inside of there, inside of PowerPoint, you can close your master, go back to insert, and you can make a new slide each time. Every time you make a new slide, it takes on all the colors, the font, the size, and everything. Then you just add your content. Okay, so again, it's called a master. Master. Same with InDesign. Same exact thing. InDesign is the same way. Here's a page. I want to do what? Well, I want to make a master. So in the master, if I could find where the master's at, where's my pages? I need pages. Here we go. Under pages, you'll notice there's something called master right here. See it right here, master. So inside pages, you can click on that, and inside there you can make your master page. What are some of the things I might include in my master page? Page numbering and things like that. Inside there would be under layout. What do we got? Where's insert page numbering. Insert special characters down here. What do we got? We got page numbering, current page number. Next, I don't know. It's been a while since I've used it. I don't know where. But again, you can bring your logo in as well. Where's my insert? Place my logo in there. Gum? No, I want gum. Screenshot. There we go. Put my logo in there. It's on the master. Uh-oh, it's disappeared on me. So I moved the inside of it. Maybe my jelly beans down there at the bottom. What I don't put in my master is of course, would be text, because in the master it's only kind of a template, and so I'd put my page number, maybe my logo and stuff, but then I would put titles and things like that in the normal page. So there you go. Once you're done with your master, you go to your page. It didn't show up. I don't know why it didn't show up. I swear, there's my master. Why my page one doesn't take on my master? I don't know. Use Word, how about that? But somehow make a presentation that's in PowerPoint or something to show to Gene next class. If you can, it would be worthwhile to make something worthwhile.